Hi, I'm Kat, marketer turned brand storyteller.
And I'm Candice, educator turned entrepreneur.
And you're listening to
Not Nice, Clever.
We're two introverts who speak on stages around the country and work with top personal brands who also unapologetically require 24 to 48 hours of recovery time on the couch in our favorite sweats. All Netflix and no chill.
And to be clear, we're not quiet or nice. Together, we're redefining what it means to be an introvert who means business. It's time to show up and show off. Are you in?
In today's mini episode of Not Nice Clever, we are talking about what branding is not. We've recorded many episodes about what branding is, how you can use it, frameworks to get started, but also this is where Candice's background as an educator comes into handy, and we know the power of showing contrast in what things are not so that you know what they are. So, Candice, in the list of things that branding is not, where do we start?
Where do we start? I love this exercise because when you deep dive into what something isn't, it helps to reveal and make more clear what something is. So it's something that I do with my clients a lot. So let's start with branding is not a logo. Yeah, let it sink in.
We're going to let them sit with that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. People sometimes call me and say, Candice, can you make me a brand? And I just, it's such a loaded question because when you ask me to make you a brand, I can help support you in the process of branding, but I don't make you a brand in quotation marks, okay?
Yeah, there's no like easy bake branding oven that we just whip out and be like, that'll be $25,000. Like, no,
Exactly.
That's not how this works. If it was, we would have scaled so much
Definitely
more.
did have an easy bake oven.
You did.
Yes, branding is not a logo. That is one piece of the entire brand. As you know, I like to think about your brand like a cake, and your logo is the frosting. It's what's on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that your brand is not, it's not a catchy tagline.
Oh, yes.
That's not it.
I want to know my slogan before you even know who you are. Like,
before you even know who you serve, before you even know what you do, before you even know what your vibe is.
right.
So your branding is not any of those things. I recently saw a reel, and I don't know, I hate when I don't know who made this.
That's okay.
But I saw a reel that said, if Nike made a hotel, you can imagine what that would look like, what that would feel like, what it would encompass. But if Hyatt made a shoe, could you, in your mind, imagine what the Hyatt shoe would look like?
Right.
And the answer is probably no, because Hyatt doesn't have as strong of a brand presence vibe as Nike does. And so you can imagine a Nike hotel would have, an indoor track and a rock climbing wall.
A sportswear shop.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And you can picture that, like when you wake up in the morning in your room, there's probably like some packages of electrolytes by the water. And like, you can kind of feel what that would look like. There is a sports recovery center at the gym. Like, you get it, or I get it. That's because Nike is so good at saying who they are over and over and over again, right? It's about performance. It's about pushing yourself. It's about finding your own edge. You get that, whether it is a billboard or a commercial or something that you see online, whether it's their website. Performance is at the heart of Nike. Just Do It is a piece of that pie, but Just Do It, or the swoosh in and of itself, is not the brand. It's all of the other elements that come together to tell the story of who Nike is and who Nike's for. And they're not worried about leaving some people out.
Yeah. I think my biggest takeaway is that branding is not just one thing or not just one sense. It is everything. It is all five senses that we can measure and understand. And then the essence, the thing that we can't quite measure, that Nike has mastered, like you said. Because when you first said, if Nike were to have a hotel, I'd be like, oh, matte black, steel gray, pops of neon, right? Like just everything. Like instead of having little like slippers and bathrobes, they've got like joggers and like Flyknits for you to like get into out of your shower and like go for a morning jog, right?
Totally.
So it's not just one thing. It is the entire cake, the entire mosaic, the entire house, the entire being. And oh my gosh, imagine if you were just like looking at one element of something and not seeing the full picture, how much you would be missing out on, how much it wouldn't make sense, right?
Yeah. I've been playing with this in my mind. I haven't said it out loud yet, so this is going to be fun.
Oh, I love that.
I was thinking about explaining brand through well-known characters, and I think you've done this before, Kat, when we talk about superheroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if we think about the Cookie Monster from Sesame Street? I'm aging myself.
That's okay.
But if we're thinking about the Cookie Monster from Sesame Street and the Cookie Monster's coming over to your house for dinner, are you busting out your fine china? No, you are not.
No, paper plates.
Paper plates for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you making for dessert? You're guaranteed not making creme brulee because it's
No.
the Cookie Monster. You know what you're going to serve them. You know how you're going to serve them because they have a very specific brand. And you're not mad at Cookie Monster for being Cookie Monster. That is who
No.
he is. That is how he operates. That's what makes him fun and exciting. But if you were inviting Oscar the Grouch over, you also understand that he's going to be a grouch. You expect what he's going to say. He's going to complain about the cookies that you made. He's going to complain about the paper plates, right? All of that is what you can expect because you know their brand. And we're not mad at Oscar the Grouch for being grouchy, and we're not mad at Cookie Monster for being messy because we already have an understanding of the expectation of who they are. So wherever you are in your branding journey, deciding on your vibe and being consistent with it actually is the thing that builds the trust with your audience. So if I'm a little bit snarky in my content, my audience isn't mad. They're not turned off. They're like, yep, that's Candice being Candice. Candid Candice. There she is.
They're here for it more.
Yeah.
Yes.
They stay for it. And the people who are annoyed by it, I don't see them because they must have gone without me knowing. Okay. Owning all of those parts of yourself and showing up as that in person, in writing, in video content, and everywhere you can show up as your whole being with the same consistent message, even if you feel like you sound like a broken record.
Mm-hmm.
That's what branding is. And we hope we gave you ideas of what it's not. Thanks for joining us on Not Nice, Clever.
Remember to follow our podcast wherever you listen to audio.
And if you found today's episode valuable, please share it with your friends.
No gatekeeping here. Remember, we love to see our clever crew grow.
Signing off, you're not so nice, but oh so clever besties that mean business.
See you soon.